we are losing our country because of big tech election interference. And I am pleading with the Republican Party to please start taking this issue seriously.
If you don't know who this is Laura Loomer, a Nazi. And effectively a Nazi. You know, she sides with Nazi ideologies. She has friends who are Nazis. She attends conferences that are run by Nazis, that type of thing. Although she is actually Jewish. But, of course, the Nazis would say she's one of the good Jews, quote unquote. You know how it goes. So anyways, she ran for office in Florida and lost a while back. And this is her crying because she lost. I just eat these tears up, man. I love it to death. Let's listen to a voicemail I got about Laura Loomer because she's into some stuff, apparently. She got into a bunch of shenaniganery recently with Marjorie Taylor Green. We're going to watch that clip, but let's lead it up with the voicemail from somebody. Check it out.
Hey, Owen, Guy Young, Brookville, Illinois. It gets better and better. I caught a YouTube clip, Politics by Tabitha, and it shows Laura Loomer on her X account calling out Marjorie Taylor Green for saying that no MAGA people should show up at the Fulton County Jail, and then she shows up there.
Okay, so if you're try to provide some context to this, Fulton County Jail just got 19 new inmates, basically. Donald Trump being one of them, Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell. There are a whole bunch of whoever was involved in the conspiracy to send a slate of fake electors to the, to Congress when they were trying to certify the election. Those people were arrested for racketeering. They were arrested under the RICO Act and a whole bunch of other things. Anyways, again, Trump got his mugshot taken. If you haven't seen that, it's actually pretty glorious. Yeah, here's the mugshot if you haven't seen it. This is Donald Trump's mugshot. It's pretty fantastic. Anyways, so apparently Marjorie Taylor Green asked MAGA people, who she loosely kind of controls a little bit in Trump's stead, not to show up to the Fulton County Jail to protest. Am I understanding correctly?
Calling out Marjorie Taylor Green for saying that no MAGA people should show up at the Fulton County Jail.
Right, so Laura Loomer is a massive Trump person, and she called out Marjorie Taylor Green for saying nobody should show up to the Fulton County Jail to protest because it's a dangerous situation, basically, for everybody if they do.
She shows up there.
And then Marjorie Taylor Green showed up there, and it was a little bit of a scandal. So, as it happens, I got video of what you're talking about here. It's a pretty long video, so we're not going to watch the whole thing. Just watch a second of it here. Notice at the bottom it says, this is Loomer Unleashed. It says, peaceful rally to support President Trump. Peaceful rally, I bet. Are we talking January 6th peaceful or another type of peaceful?
And help America.
So go tell Kevin McCarthy to endorse him. Your best buddy, Marjorie. Go tell Kevin McCarthy to endorse him.
Oh, okay, so Loomer is harassing Marjorie Taylor Green. Marjorie Taylor Green is trying to give an interview to the press, and Loomer is standing in the background just heckling the out of her right now.
You know the guy that you shield for Speaker of the House? The guy that disavowed President Trump after J6?
What happened to the Jewish space
Remember that, Marjorie?
Wow. Loomer really does not like Marjorie Taylor Green because, again, she made a deal with Kevin McCarthy to make him Speaker of the House against the interests of the Freedom Caucus, which make up somewhere in the vicinity of like 20 people. Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Green, Lauren Boebert, Andy Biggs, a whole bunch of other congressmen, basically. And they were holding up the vote, refusing to allow Kevin McCarthy to become Speaker unless he agreed to all of this crazy stuff. And Loomer is basically heckling Marjorie Taylor Green for making the deal. She's part of the Freedom Caucus, and she helped facilitate the deal with the Freedom Caucus to get McCarthy into a position of power. Even though Trump himself endorsed McCarthy for Speaker. It's insane.
Quick interjection. I won't take long. I just wanted to tell you guys, YouTube's algorithm operates off of a few factors. Watch time, whether or not you subscribe, and whether or not you like something. So if you really want to help my channel, I would appreciate it if you guys watch the video to the end. If you don't watch it to the end, just watch a little bit longer than you would have otherwise. I would appreciate that very much. All right, let's get back to the video.
Wow. Do you remember that, Marjorie? That
Soros ignored real media and then ran away like a coward.
Ignored real media and ran away like a coward. Well, I'm sure people don't like being heckled.
Ignored the people that she used to and then ran away like a Kevin McCoward.
Like a Kevin McCoward, okay.
Come on, Marjorie.
And she's just following Marjorie Taylor Green around, heckling her. Seriously, like, nobody wants this. Why are you like this? Is it because you cried in front of a bunch of people when you lost your election? Is that what made you like this? We're gonna watch the rest of that, by the way.
To talk a bunch of shit online, but when you're asked in person, you want to run and hide, Marjorie.
They're literally running away. Whoa, base, let's go. Boo! Go home. Boo! Run!
President Trump, Marjorie.
Okay, I don't know what is going on with their stream, but it keeps freezing, like, randomly. It's bizarre, and then just going back and forth.
Loomer. Large Marge.
Are they calling her Large Marge? She's 5'3". What are they talking about?
Large Marge.
I mean, it would be funny if it made any sense. Even then, it wouldn't be funny, but it doesn't even make sense. Like, what is he laughing at? I don't understand. They called Marjorie Taylor Green Large Marge. What's funny about that? She works out. She doesn't have any kind of, she has no weight issues whatsoever, and she's even 5'3". She's very short. It doesn't apply to her at all, the name. Why is this dude literally red from laughing at the name?
Marge.
Where's your husband?
Dude, these people need help.
Large Marge.
Oh,
Christian
man.
nationalist.
Large Marge, hashtag Large Marge, chat.
She just cheats on her husband for the street. I sent her husband a shirt say Christian nationalist.
So, anyways, yeah, Laura Loomer, she heckled Marjorie Taylor Green at this rally, basically for no reason. Like, there's no point behind this. You were just being difficult for no reason, right? Anyway, that was only one half of the voicemail. There's more to the voicemail. I wanted to listen to the rest of it. Check it out.
And she shows up there so she can, cry. And Laura Loomer, the MAGA loony who just got put back on X after being banned from all social media, is a mortal enemy of Marjorie Taylor Green, even though they're both extreme MAGA.
Yeah, they're extreme nutcases, both of them. I'm kind of blown away that they're not on each other's side. It's like Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Green. They hate each other, apparently. They cannot stand each other. Apparently, it's kind of on Lauren Boebert's side because she feels like every stupid thing that Marjorie Taylor Green says or does reflects back on her, like the space laser thing or whatever. And Lauren Boebert realizes she will never be taken seriously when she's affiliated in any way with Marjorie Taylor Green, so she's trying to create that division. In reality, they're both MAGA nutcases. Everybody we're talking about here, Laura Loomer included, are all MAGA nutcases. They're all just as crazy to me. I don't see a distinction here at all.
She's attacking her. It's hilarious. I love it. More proof. R.I.P. GOP 2023. They're eating themselves alive.
Yeah, so this Guy Young, he calls in a lot, and he is under the belief, I think I agree with him. The Republican Party is eating itself alive right now because half of it doesn't want Trump and the other half does want Trump, and there is no compromise to be had here. So the Republican Party is going to fail miserably because Trump is a part, because he's involved in any of this, first of all. And second, we could see the results play out right in front of us in the 2022 midterm elections. We know that every candidate who was endorsed by Trump or who talked about how great Trump was or whatever, just about, what was it? Every candidate who talked about Trump and how great he was lost or something like that in the midterms. I forget exactly what the statistic was, but a lot of people, hang on, let me find the statistic. So there's a difference between a Trump endorsed candidate and a candidate who endorses Trump. if you think about it. I could endorse Bernie Sanders, and it's not thanks to me that Bernie Sanders wins his election. You know, anybody can endorse anybody, and it has nothing to do with whether or not that person wins, or it may not have anything to do with it, right? So we're not looking at how many people Trump endorsed and then got to win. We're really looking at how many people have formed their personality around being Trump extremists and won. And the number is basically 0 in the 2022 midterms. Of course, this is forever ago. But Donald Trump being affiliated with the party is destroying the party from the inside. And it's fantastic to see. Again, you need to vote. Don't take this as a sign that you don't need to. You must. It's extremely important you get out there and vote. Vote, vote, vote. Especially Gen Z people, you did a good job in the 2022 midterms. Get out there and vote, people, okay? Vote like your life depends on it, because it might, for real. Somebody's life does depend on your vote. Anyways, I wanted to listen to Laura Loomer cry when she lost her election, because I just eat this up, dude. I love it. I love this to death. Like I said, she's effectively a Nazi. Yes, she's Jewish. She's a fan of Kanye West also. Remember Kanye West and the things he said, right? All right, this one will do. Kanye West goes on Alex Jones. Again, Laura Loomer, close friends with Kanye West, agrees with him ideologically. Kanye West goes on Alex Jones's show and says this. I'm sorry, Kanye West is wearing a mask, by the way, but it's Kanye. You can hear the voice.
Seriously, I've really studied a lot of history, plus I had family that was there. And so, I mean, I don't think Hitler was a good guy. I get the Hugo Boss uniforms, amazing.
The Nazi uniforms are what he's really referring to. Nazi uniforms were not amazing. They were not. And Hugo Boss is a brand in Germany now. I don't know if they created the Nazi uniform. I'm not even sure about that. Probably not. But I think he's claiming that it's kind of modeled after, like, that style. No, they're not amazing. I'm sorry, they're not. I'm not giving him anything here.
I get the Hugo Boss uniforms, amazing. But I mean, just because you're in love with the design, you're a designer. Can we just kind of say, like, you like the uniforms, but that's about it?
No. There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. A lot of things. Hey.
Oh boy. Off to Crazy Town. Again, that's not even the worst thing that he said. That's just the first video that I saw. Clicked up. Anyway, close friends with Laura Loomer. Seriously, Kanye West and Laura Loomer are like this. No joke. So she runs in Florida as a Republican, of course, and loses, and then blames election fraud. Well, who defrauded you, Laura? It had to have been the Republican Party, right? So she blamed Republicans for being defrauded, when in reality, she lives in a fantasy. She wasn't defrauded. She's just not popular. People don't like you. That happens from time to time.
And I am pleading with the Republican Party to please start taking this issue seriously. Please. Because the American people deserve representation. And that's why I ran for Congress in 2020. It's why I ran for Congress in 2022. And it's why I'm going to keep fighting for all of you. I'm never going to...
Oh, those are all Nazis cheering in the crowd, by the way. Anyway, it's just awful, dude. There is no more self-hating, disgusting person than Laura Loomer. So, yeah, I eat it up when I see somebody like this crying. Absolutely. Love it. Want more of it. Want to see more. Absolutely. Every time I see something like this, I lock it away in my memory and save it for a rainy day. And anytime I'm feeling down, just watch her cry over her election loss. Watch this Nazi, effectively Nazi, cry over her election loss. It cheers me up a little.
In 2022, and it's why I'm going to keep fighting for all of you. I'm never going to...
She's just, everything about her is just terrible because she's a Nazi. It's just disgusting, dude. And when I say Nazi, I'm not being hyperbolic here. I know there are people on the left that call everybody a Nazi, you know, if you don't accept intersectionalism and feminism and blah, 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 whatever, then you're a Nazi. No, I mean, she loves Hitler. Seriously. Here's another clip from her. This is on Killstream. This was from mid-August 2022 when this one came out.
I'm a really big supporter of the Christian nationalist movement. I support Christians.
Again, she claims to be Jewish. Why is she a supporter of the Christian nationalist movement?
I'm going to fight for Christians. I'm going to fight for white people. I'm going to fight for, nationalist movements. I'm going to fight against the anti-white racism that is being, perpetuated. I'm going to fight.
There is no anti-white racism being perpetuated, Laura.
I'm going to fight for all Americans, really. All freedom-loving Americans.
Oh, there you go. She qualified it. She started out by saying all Americans. And by the end of the sentence, she said all freedom-loving Americans. That means if you don't agree with her ideology, she counts you out.
Regardless of their background. But there is clearly a war on white people.
No, there isn't.
Clearly a war on Christianity in this country.
No.
Even though I am Jewish, I'm still going to fight for Christian nationalists. And I
see what I said. Like, I think she's just using her identity as a Jewish person, if that's even true, as a bludgeon against other people. She's using it as a weapon. She's the token good Jew that Nazis can hold up as a bastion of what Jews should be. It's just disgusting, dude. It's so wrong.
I find that most of my friends and most of my allies and most of the people who I associate these days with are Christian nationalists.
Knock me over with a feather. Really? The people you associate with are Christian nationalists? Color me surprised. I didn't see that coming. That honestly surprised the heck out of me. Anyway, that's Laura Loomer. That's Laura Loomer crying. And that's Laura Loomer heckling and harassing Marjorie Taylor Green. As Guy Young said, I love to see these people eat each other alive. It brings me joy. It gives me sustenance at the end of the day. I love it to death. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Baby whose parents refused blood from vaccinated donors undergoes life-saving heart surgery. So basically, this baby needed a heart surgery immediately. And heart surgery usually entails a blood transfusion because your heart's pumping and it's squirting blood out all over the place and everything. They got to replace it, obviously, right? Well, you got this baby who needs this blood transfusion for this heart transplant, and the parents said, we will not get this transplant unless you agree to give us unvaccinated blood only. And of course, doctor said, well, it doesn't really work like that. Vaccines are filtered out of the blood within days anyways. What the hell is wrong with you? Your baby is about to die. The court ordered that the baby receive the surgery and the transfusion anyways, which sometimes happens with Jehovah's Witnesses. They reject blood transfusions too, and on occasion, courts can act quickly enough to save a Jehovah's Witness's life. Sometimes. It just kind of depends. When I was a kid, my dad was 100% prepared to die for his religion. Surprisingly, he needed a quadruple bypass and was refusing a blood transfusion. And no doctor from here to Texas would give him a quadruple bypass with no blood transfusion. Except one guy said, you know what, I think that I can solve the problem or at least mitigate the issue by putting in some stents. So that's what they did. They put stents in, and it solved the problem mostly for the moment. He did eventually need to get that bypass, and I believe he did get that bypass without a transfusion for real. But, yeah, people are weird about this. I don't understand, man. A 6-month-old baby whose parents refused to allow him to undergo life-saving heart surgery using blood from people vaccinated against COVID-19 has been operated on in a New Zealand hospital. This is from December 9th, 2022. Earlier this week, a judge ruled that the boy, who cannot be identified for legal reasons, understandable, would remain under the court's guardianship until he'd recovered from the surgery. That's good. Maybe he should remain under the court's guardianship permanently and away from those psychotic parents. The court also appointed 2 doctors as its agents to oversee issues around the operation and the administration of blood, according to the court documents. The baby has a congenital heart defect and needed urgent open-heart surgery to survive, but the operation was delayed by his parents' insistence that only blood from donors not vaccinated against COVID be used. Speaking to CNN affiliate Radio New Zealand, RNZ, on Friday, the parents' lawyer, Sue Gray, confirmed that they had texted her to say the surgery was complete and that their son was doing well. That's sad, man. People will deny life-saving treatments for all kinds of stuff, but when you get children into the mix, it's just, you know, that's where it gets wrong. You want to be an idiot and refuse a quadruple bypass? It's not even idiocy, honestly. It's brainwashing. But you can't do that to kids, man. It's not okay. You know? It's really sad. Somebody asked if the parents were arrested. I don't believe so. I don't even know what kind of ads I'm getting here. These are just straight up confusing, disturbing ads that I'm getting here. Like, what? I got an ad for a chair, 50% off. I don't remember buying a chair in the past 3 years. Have I even purchased a chair like this in 3 years? Why are they giving me this ad right now? God, they're shoving it down my throat, too. This is a lot. They really want me to have that chair. Anyway, sad stuff, man. At least the baby survived. At least the baby got the treatment that it needed. No thanks to the parents. People will do some psychotic shit for their ideologies, up to and including sacrificing their own children, their own children's lives, when they don't have to. Sad. Let me know what you think.